you Trekkies and TV addicts, don't mean to this, don't mean to bring static. All you Klingons in your grandma's house, grab your backstreet friend, they get loud.
Say, Doc, what's the condition? I'm a man that's on a mission, like a scientist. When I'm applying this,
check it out. What's it all about?
Hello class, Mr. Vilas here today to talk to you about how to find good academic research for your papers. And here I am at Google, and I'm going to do what most students do, is I'm going to search for my topic, I'm going to hit enter and go to Wikipedia, and I'm done doing my research. That's it. I did it all. I'm in Wikipedia. Where else do I need to go? You need to go a lot of places, and you need to do a little bit better than Wikipedia. So let's back up a minute. Let's talk about my favorite author, Kurt Vonnegut. And let's say that we wanted to write a paper about his experiences during World War II in the city of Dresden, Germany, and how that influenced his most famous book, Slaughterhouse-Five. Sounds like a lot, but right, stay focused. Kurt Vonnegut, what happened in Dresden, and how did what happened in Dresden influence Slaughterhouse-Five? So how do I use Wikipedia? First of all, understand, you cannot use Wikipedia as a source for your research. You cannot cite Wikipedia in an academic paper. It's not what we should be doing. What should we be doing with Wikipedia? Well, for me, when I have to do research on something, I do go to Wikipedia, and I do get a general idea of my topic just by scrolling and reading and clicking around until I get an idea of what I'm talking about. That's not that bad, especially when you consider I've seen sources that quote Wikipedia as being anywhere between 90 and 98% accurate. But there's two reasons we cannot use Wikipedia. We can't use Wikipedia because anybody can come, hit this edit button here, and rewrite the Kurt Vonnegut page. Somebody will come along later and fix it, but for that, however long, for that time, however long it's messed up or incorrect, people who click on this page are going to see that. So the fact that anybody can edit it, anybody can be an author, is one reason why we can't trust Wikipedia, even though it is usually pretty accurate. The other reason is there is a lot of bias in Wikipedia articles. Maybe not something so much like Kurt Vonnegut, but if you were to go click on Barack Obama, or you were to look up George Bush, you would get a lot of bias from people who hate Barack Obama or hate George Bush, or they like them, they're Democrats, they're Republican, right? A lot of times people's opinions and beliefs influence articles on Wikipedia, which is the other reason that we can't use it as good research. So what can we use Wikipedia for? Again, besides just a general overview, Wikipedia does have a helpful little place that you can go to find good research down here in the references section. Every Wikipedia article has a section called references, and what you'll see are outside links that people have used as evidence to back up their opinion in this article. And if you look through it, for instance, Kurt Vonnegut has 73 references that could potentially contain good research for our paper. For instance, if you look here at number 2, here's an article by Danita Smith called Kurt Vonnegut, Novelist Who Caught the Imagination of His Age, is Dead at 84. And it's written by the New York Times in 2007. If I click on this, it actually takes me to New York Times, and it gives me the whole article. New York Times is a credible source, and it's actually, this could be something we want to use. Well, now we run into a problem. This article is at least 3 pages long. Maybe I don't want to read 3 different pages just to find out if this is going to be useful for me. One of the most important functions to know on your computer is what happens when you hold down the control key and you hit the F button at the same time. If I type in Dresden, you'll notice that the word Dresden, a little box pops up. The defining moment of Mr. Vonnegut's life. What's pretty cool is that I can type a word or phrase into this box, and it'll actually scan, it'll read the article for me, and it will highlight every instance of that. So I saved myself some time. So again, we're talking about using Vonnegut's experiences. If I click next, it will highlight every instance of Dresden on this website, on this page. And you'll notice on page 1, there's 3. So that's something really important to know, is that Control F will actually help you find and locate information in your article. And so not only is the reference section important to know about on Wikipedia, there's usually a section called further reading. Further reading is where they list all of the books where you can find information. I know these are books because they have an ISBN number. ISBN number is to books what a social security number is to a person. It's a unique identifying number that helps you locate that book either in a library or online, or maybe you wanted to order it off a website. So this ISBN number here is attached to this book by Susan Farrell. Look here, we see 6 books that could potentially contain good research information for our topic. And the last place that you could go to find some good research using Wikipedia is in the external links section. The external links section usually will take you to a good outside website that may contain some good research. So you'll see here the first external link is to Kurt Vonnegut's actual website, or his estate, I guess, because Kurt Vonnegut passed away. If I click on bio, I will get a biography of Kurt Vonnegut on his official site. And again, let's see what it has to say about Dresden. I can see here that Dresden appears one time in this article, so maybe I just read this paragraph and find out if it's something I want to use in my article, or excuse me, in my paper. So, how do we use Wikipedia? You check out the reference section, you check out the further reading section, and you check out the external links section. Beside Wikipedia, a great place to go to do some research is a place called Google Scholar. Google Scholar is a search engine just like Google, run by Google. However, it has it does its best to return scholarly work, good research for students who might be writing a paper. It's a little bit better than Google. So first thing I want to do is I want to unclick include patents because I don't want any patents in my search. And let's do a search for Kurt Vonnegut. You'll notice that I get 14,000 results, most of which are going to be good sources. The first thing I like to do is I like to come over here where it says anytime, and I like to click since 2013 because I want the most recent articles to pop up first. And now from here, I can kind of scroll through and get an idea of what potential sources I have. Sometimes if you click the titles, you'll get the whole article. Other times you click the title, get an abstract which just explains what this article is about. One way to guarantee that you're going to get the whole article is if you look over here on the right, it'll give you a PDF. Let's say I wanted to read this article, robots aren't the problem, it's us. I know that I'm going to get the full article because the PDF is listed over here. I click on it, and here is an article. It appeared in the Chronicle of Higher Education in March 25th, 2013, pretty recent. And it looks to be about 8 pages. Maybe I don't have time to read the 8 pages again. I type in the word Dresden in my Control F find box, and no references to Dresden, so I know maybe I'm not going to waste my time with this. One thing to know about Google Scholar is it's a little bit, it's unlike regular Google, whereas you might have to click through a couple of these pages down here, as where in regular Google, the farther you get down this road here, the worse the information gets. You can actually find a good source on any of these pages, so it pays to click a little bit and kind of look. For instance, here we have something called 2 Conversations with Kurt Vonnegut. We have the PDF, so I know I could get the full article. Let's give it a click. Looks like I have to download this, so I'm going to go ahead and open it. It downloads, and this is college literature, 2 Conversations with Kurt Vonnegut by Charlie Riley and Kurt Vonnegut. It's from 1980, and it looks to be about 30 pages. All right, so maybe this is useful. Well, again, I don't really have time to read all 30 pages, and this could be really good because it looks like an actual interview. I assume this is the author, and this is KV stands for Kurt Vonnegut. So let's we do our Control F. You'll see it pops up here in my Adobe PDF search box. I type in Dresden, and now it's going to look. Your work in progress talks about the ruins of New York City. That reminds me of the ruins of Dresden, but it seems so much more sinister. In this case, how does New York get ruined? Okay, probably don't need about New York. I wrote in Slaughterhouse 5 about looking up a guy whom I was in Dresden with and asking him as a favor to remember whatever he could. The fact was that neither of us could remember anything of substance and neither of us wanted to remember. All right, that could be useful for our paper. I click again here on page 29. You mentioned something along the lines of Jailbird, something that has never occurred to me, but it does. But it must have been heartbreaking to you, the son and grandson of architects, to witness the destruction of an aesthetic jewel like Dresden when you were a prisoner of war there. So we know, by clicking through, that there's about 4 or 5 references to Dresden. Maybe this is something that we want to save for later and use in our paper. But if we go back to Google Scholar here, we talked about clicking on the year to get more recent articles. Something else you can do, if I go back and these 2 conversations, I like that. Let's say I liked it, I wanted to get more. If I click on related articles, it will actually take me to similar websites. Nothing's Ever Final, Kurt Vonnegut's Concept of Time. And see, now you can see here, to download this, it would cost me $16. But at least I now know, there's other articles that are similar out here to this 2 conversations with Kurt Vonnegut. So this is Google Scholar. You really got to kind of take the time to go through it. You got to take the time to look around and get used to it. It's not perfect, but at least the stuff that's coming back to you is going to be solid research for your paper. Finally, let's talk about databases. Databases are the best place to go to do your scholarly research. A database is a collection of information all in one spot on a topic that is well researched, written by experts in their field. Think about a database as a really good search engine, kind of like Google, but again, you're only going to get back that good information. A problem with a lot of databases, especially the popular ones, for instance, like let's go to JSTOR. If I were to do a search here on Kurt Vonnegut, and let's say I liked this first article here, you'll notice if I wanted to read this entire article, it's going to cost me $13.50. Databases are really, really expensive, sometimes upwards of thousands of dollars to get a subscription in. So we have to be a little bit clever. If you go to your county library, like ours is Ocean County Library. If I go to Ocean County Library, most county libraries have subscriptions to databases and they allow people who have library cards to use them for free. For instance, if I click here on research, I click on databases, you'll see that there is over 110 total databases that the Ocean County Library subscribes to. And again, these are like separate search engines. You can kind of look through. If I was doing an article about a famous African American, I might use the African American History Online database. If I needed a newspaper, I might use the American Newspapers, the American News Magazine database. If I wanted to write something about American Indians, right, there's an American Indian History Online database. But one of the best ones in this particular library section that we have access to is EBSCOhost. Let's click here on EBSCOhost, and you're going to see it's actually going to ask you for the 14-digit number on the back of your library card. So I'm going to type mine in while you look over here at something so you don't take my library card and order some weird stuff. But I log myself in, and now you will see I have access to EBSCOhost. And specifically, what version of EBSCOhost, what search engine do I want to use? I'm going to use Academic Search Premier. This is usually a pretty good one. I type in Kurt Vonnegut, and we will see that I'm going to get a lot of good research. And if you look over here, I have 656 results. I can refine my research. It looks like the earliest article there has is from 1952. The most recent article is from 2013. We have magazines, we have reviews, academic journals, newspapers, trade publications. So play around with these search results to find specific things that you might be interested in looking at. I like to click on full text, so that way I know the results coming back are going to be the whole article. One of the nice things about databases is if you click on the title, it'll take you to a page that gives you information about what this article is about. We can see the author, we can see the source, right, where it was written, where it appears, we can see what type of article it is, right? This is a literary criticism. But most importantly, you get an abstract, which is a brief summary of what the article is about. Like this article is about a literary criticism of the novel Breakfast of Champions and Goodbye Blue Monday by Kurt Vonnegut is presented. Well, since we're talking about Kurt Vonnegut and Dresden and Slaughterhouse-5 in our paper, this does not seem like a source that we're going to need, so I can go back and keep looking. The letters of Kurt Vonnegut, what is this about? Excerpts from letters written by Kurt Vonnegut are presented from the book Kurt Vonnegut Letters, edited by Dan Wakefield. Okay, so maybe in some of these letters he talks about his experiences in Dresden. If I want to read the full article, I want to click here. It might be a PDF or it might be an HTML, but I'm going to click. It's going to pull up the whole article. I could do a Control F for Dresden, and you can see that this has lots of information about Dresden. So this is something I might read now or bookmark for later because I have a feeling this is going to be a good source. Let's go back and look for some more. Oh, the Humanity, Kurt Vonnegut and Rational Emotive Behavior, probably not going to be for us. Kurt Vonnegut, Sermons on the Mount, probably not going to be for us. There Must Be More to Love Than Death, a conversation with Kurt Vonnegut. Let's check this one out. What's this about? Presents an interview with Kurt Vonnegut on the subject of American culture and the bomb, discussions of Vonnegut's book Slaughterhouse-5, descriptions of his experience in Dresden, Germany in the book, roots of Vonnegut's interest in moms, focus of Vonnegut's book, Cat's Cradle. Wow, this seems like a really good source. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to click on the full PDF. It's going to give me the whole article, 6 pages. I could do a little Control F for Dresden, and I can see that Dresden seems to appear numerous places. And what might make this an even better source is this looks to be like an interview with Kurt Vonnegut. So we know that the information in this article is coming out of the mouth of Kurt Vonnegut. This is first-hand information. This is primary source material. So this is definitely something I want to bookmark or look at later. So hopefully you guys see that by using Wikipedia the right way, by using Google Scholar and scouring through that a little bit, or most importantly, spending most of my time in a good in a good database like EBSCOhost or JSTOR that you can usually get access to from your school library, you can usually get access to by your county library, you're going to find a lot better research than you would just by doing a simple Google search. So feel free to check out my other videos, specifically on how to format your paper in MLA, or how to cite these good sources that you found, or check out any of my other videos which will hopefully help you become a better writer. This is Mr. Aviles saying I will see you later.